Before we get in today's lesson, I first need you to understand some vocabulary words. The first one would be function, then x-axis, y-axis, parabola, and symmetry. So you should already know what these are, so pause the video really quick and just make sure that you understand what these words are. Now that you should have a pretty good idea of what these words mean, I'm going to go ahead and read you what the definition is. A function is a relationship or expression involving one or more variables. X-axis, the principal or horizontal axis of a system of coordinates points along which have a value of 0 for all other coordinates. Y-axis, the secondary or vertical axis of a system of coordinates points along which have a value of 0 for all other coordinates. Parabola, a symmetrical open plane curve formed by the intersection of a cone with a plane parallel to its side. The path of a projectile under the influence of gravity ideally follows a curve of this shape. Symmetry, a law or operation in which a physical property or process has an equivalence in two or more directions. Now we'll go ahead and get started with the video. Hello, my name is Colby Wagner, and this right here is Catherine. We both go to the University of Northern Iowa, where we are both wanting to be math teachers. So today I'm going to show you how to graph functions using tables and symmetry. And to do that, I'm going to show you first how there are parabolas and other types of functions in the real world. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot a three-pointer, and you should be able to see that parabola arc. So I'll go ahead and do that. So as you saw in the basketball video, there are different types of parabolas in the real world, but now I'm going to try and show you how there could be a parabola below the x-axis. So if you can see right here, there's a trampoline, and when I jump on the trampoline, we're going to pretend that the trampoline is the x-axis, so I'm going to go below it. But instead of jumping on it, I'm going to jump off the house right up here. So I don't know how many times you've seen any of your teachers jump off of a roof, probably never, but we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm a little bit scared and I don't know what's going to happen, so we'll find out. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ah, God.
Can I stop it?
No. Okay, that was super scary, but hopefully now you can see how a parabola can go below the x-axis.
My name is Katherine, and I also go to UNI. Like Colby said earlier, we're going to graph parabolas using tables and symmetry. As you saw, there is a lot of parabolas in the real world. I will be showing you how to graph them.
Alright, so before we start graphing, I want you to head over to desmos.com and play around on there and try and see if you can get the parabola to start at 7 foot and end at 7 foot. And there's a hint. Try and get your parameters to stay within the positive range of the x-axis, and it's going to end at some number, but that's something that you will need to figure out. Alright, so this is the function that we came up with, and you'll probably come up with a different function, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and use this function. So what we're going to do is now we're going to plug in x value so then we can get out a y value. So we'll use this x and y table. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a 0. And it's better to pick a number that is positive because this is time and there are no negative times. So we're going to go ahead and use 0 as our x value. And so now we're going to go ahead and write this out. And we are plugging in 0 for every x value that we see. And in this case, there's only 1. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and solve this. So this comes out to 0. Minus 2.45. So now we have a negative 2.45, and we're going to square that, which comes out to 6.0025. And now we have that negative sign out in front, so we're going to go ahead and tag that along with it. And so now we have negative 6.0025, and we're going to add 13 to that. And that's going to come out to be 6.997, I believe, and we're just going to go ahead and round that up to 7. So if we come back over here, we can see that 7 is correct on the y-axis.
Okay, so you found your first point with 0 and 7. Next, I want you to have your x values as 5 and 9.8 and figure out your y values, plugging in 5 and 9.8 in your x. Also, I want you to choose 15 and 19.6 and find the y values for this side of the parabola.
Okay, so now after plugging in 0, 5, 9.8, 15, and 19.6 into our x value, we should come out with these 5 y values. Now keep in mind this is rounded, and this number is also rounded. I think this one went a little over, but that's okay. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and graph this using our table. So we have 0 as our x value and 7 as our y value. So we can put a point right there, which is where the ball started at, essentially. And so then the next one is 5, so we come to 5 and we can go up to 11.56. So that would be somewhere around here. The next one is 9.8, and we come over to 9.8 and we can go all the way up to 13, which is about right there. And so that's the highest the ball gets. So the next one is 15, we'll come over to 15, and we'll go up to about 11.31. And that's about right there. And then the last one is 7. So 7 is about right there. So then now you can see kind of what the ball did. Now it's a little off, but the ball basically goes through the hoop.
Okay, so for showing symmetry, we're going to talk about the axis of symmetry, which as this is drawn as a parabola, I can see that this part of the parabola is kind of similar to this side of the parabola. So if I want to draw like a dotted line straight down the middle here, and then I can fold it and see that both sides are symmetric. Also with this, I could go to the x and y table and show that when you're at 0, you're at 7, and when you're at 19.6, you're at 7. When you're at 5, and when you're at 15, you're at 2 close 11s. And when you're at 9.8, you're directly in the middle at 13, which you can fold together to have symmetry.
Alright, so with this knowledge that you just learned, hopefully now you can graph parabolas using tables and symmetry. So the next 10 pictures, or the next 10 things you see on the screen are going to be quiz questions. So they're only going to be up for about 5 seconds each. So once you see it, pause the video, solve the question on a piece of paper, and then go on to the next one, and I will see you guys in class. Make sure to bring that paper.